Hi everyone, I am Diveshwari. I am from CSCB. Now I am here to explain about ER diagram. The contents that we are going to cover in this video are what is ER diagram, uses of ER diagram, components and features, steps for designing ER model, advantages and disadvantages. What is an ER diagram? An entity relationship diagram is a type of flowchart that illustrates how entities such as people, objects, or concepts relate to each other within a system. ER diagrams are most often used to design or debug relational databases in the fields of software engineering because information systems, education, and research, also known as ERDs or ER models. They use a defined set of symbols such as rectangles, diamonds, ovals, and connecting lines to depict the interconnectedness of entities, relationships, and their attributes. They mirror grammatical structure with entities as nouns and relationships as verbs. Uses of entity relationship diagrams. Database design. ER diagrams are used to model and design relational databases in terms of logic and business rules, and in terms of specific technology to be implemented. In software engineering, an ER diagram is often an initial in determining requirements for an information systems project. It's also later used to model a particular database or databases. A relational database has an equivalent relational table and can potentially be expressed that way as needed. Database troubleshooting. ER diagrams are used to analyze existing databases to find and resolve problems in logic or deployment. Drawing the diagram should reveal where it's going wrong. Business information systems. The diagrams are used to design or analyze relational databases used in business processes. Any business process that uses fielded data involving entities, actions, and interplay can potentially benefit from a relational database. It can streamline processes, uncover information more easily, and improve results. Business process re-engineering. ER diagrams help in analyzing databases used in business process re-engineering and in modeling a new database setup. Education. Databases are today's method of storing relational information for educational purposes and later retrieval, so ER diagrams can be valuable in planning those data structures. And ER diagrams are also used in research purpose. ER diagrams are useful to develop databases to analyze the data in research purposes. The components and features of an ER diagram. ER diagrams are composed of entities, relationships, and attributes. They also depict a cardinality, which defines relationships in terms of numbers. Entity, a definable thing, such as a person, object, concept, or event that can have data stored about it. It is represented using a rectangle. Entity set, same as an entity type but defined at a particular point in time, such as students enrolled in a class, etc. A related term is instance, in which the specific person or car would be an instance or the entity of the entity set. Strong entity. Strong entity can be defined solely by its own attributes, while a weak entity cannot. An associative entity associates entities within an entity set. Entity keys refers to an attribute that uniquely defines an entity in an entity set. Entity keys can be super, candidate, and primary. Super key, a set of attributes that together define an entity is in an entity set. Candidate key, a minimal super key, meaning it has the least possible number of attributes to still be a super key. An entity set may have more than one candidate key. Primary key, a candidate key chosen by database designer to uniquely identify the entity set. Foreign key identifies the relationship between entities. Descriptive attribute, a property or characteristic of a relationship. Attribute categories. Attributes are categorized as simple, composite, derived, as well as single value or multi-value. Simple means the attribute value is atomic and can't be further divided, such as a phone number. Composite. Sub-attributes spring from an attribute. Derived. Attributed is calculated or otherwise derived from another attribute, such as age from birth date. Cardinality defines the numerical attribute of the relationship between two entities or entity sets. There are three types of cardinality: one to one to many, and many to many. One to one example would be one student associated with one mailing address, and one to many example is one student registers for multiple courses, but all those courses have single line back to that one student. Many to many. Students as a group are associated with multiple faculty members, and faculty members in turn are associated with multiple students. Features of ER model. The features of ER model are as follows. It is widely used to develop the initial design of the database. It provides a collection of basic concepts that can be easily implemented in a database system. It describes data as a set of entities, attributes, and relationships. It provides a graphical view of the database design. Steps to design a ER model. Step 1. Identify the entities from the given database. Second step is finding relations among the entities. Third step is identify the key attribute for every entity. Next, identify the other relevant attribute. Fifth step is draw the complete ER diagram with all the attributes including primary key. Sixth one is review your results according to the requirements of the database. Entity relationship diagram is a graphical representation of entities and relationships among those entities in the database. Advantages of ER diagram. It is easy to create and understand. It is very simple because if you know the relationship between attributes and entities, you can easily draw it. It is a tool for effective communication of database designs. It can be easily converted into a relational model. Disadvantages. The disadvantages of a yarn model are as follows. It is not suitable for the semi-structured or unstructured database. It is difficult to show data manipulation. So yeah, diagram have both advantages and disadvantages. I hope you understand about ER diagrams. Thank you.